to all shushunettes and shushus. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're having a blessed day. And if the devil is whispering some negative, disturbing thoughts in your mind, just slap him spiritually, of course. Thank you for being here. Today is a special day. We're going to be discussing today's story time. I'm going to be talking about my first love. No, it's not you, Mikey. It's not everyday husband. No. Today is about my father. The incomparable, the unparalleled, second to none. Drum roll, please. Dr. Joseph Mudienga, you heard that right. Dad is now a doctor. Congratulations on the completion of your doctorate, Daddy. I am so proud of you. We are all so proud of you. You keep raising the bar very high. And in honor of your doctorate degree, I'm going to be sharing my 5 most favorite thing about you. Let's go! So my number 1 favorite thing about my dad is his faith and his optimism. As you may know, we survived the 1994 genocide against Tutsis, and after having seen such cruelty, I was once, so I don't remember, but my father witnessed it. After having seen such degradation of mankind, to still see beauty in humanity is one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. Today my father sees goodness in everyone. He sees, he's always optimistic about the future. He always has a strong faith, and that to me is one of the most beautiful, his most beautiful traits. To give a bit of context about the 1994 genocide against Tutsis, some missionaries that were there in Rwanda at the time described it very well. They said, there are no more devils left in hell. They have all descended into Rwanda. In 3 months, 1 million lives were lost. And at this juncture, I would like to take a moment of silence to honor all the victims of the 1994 genocide against Tutsis. So yeah, that's one of my favorite things about Dad. Today, every time I complain about someone or I'm venting about someone to Dad, he's always like, no, you have to always remember everyone is flawed. We're all flawed human beings. Try to see the beauty in them, try to see the goodness in them. So it's a beautiful trait of his, especially after witnessing what he's witnessed. And I thank you, Daddy. I love you. And to my father, to my aunt, and to every African parent, every Rwandan parent specifically, who came out of the genocide traumatized, yet pushed through for their children. We love you, we honor you. Your sacrifices have not gone unnoticed, and we pray that your latter days, we know that your latter days will be better than your former days. We hope to make you proud. Whew, that was heavy. Let's transition to the second most beautiful trait of my father, his humility. My father is a very humble man. I've witnessed a very interesting phenomenon when I go to Africa, Rwanda, Ghana, South Africa, every African country I've ever been to. I've noticed an interesting phenomenon, a classist phenomenon, which means that the people who have made it, new money, the people who have made it don't want to associate themselves with the masses. They think of themselves as CEO, big man, chief. They don't just, their friends, they don't just hang around with anyone. My father doesn't have that problem. My father's friends include some of the biggest names, you know, CEOs, businessmen, etc. But they also include Bavunjai, people who used to work at a home, Abazamu. Pretty much anyone he finds interesting is his friend, and they hang out. And that to me is a beautiful thing. He doesn't have the classist issue. He sees human being as a human being. We're all mere mortals, and we're all human beings, and we're all the same. It doesn't matter. Social status doesn't matter. Economic status doesn't matter. And it's a beautiful thing that I think is instilled in me as well. I'm not quite as selfless as him, but I'm getting there. The third most beautiful thing about my father is his authenticity. He's a man that lives in his authentic, true self. It doesn't matter who's watching. His values, his moral compass has always been the same from the day I was born. It's always the same. Pray, love people, love God, do good. True religion is caring for the orphan and caring for the orphans and the widows. those are the values he's instilled in me. He has never wavered, and he's authentic. No matter what he is, he's authentic to his true self. To illustrate this, so Dad growing up, he was comfortable financially, but he never cared about house or cars. Oh, he cared about cars a little bit, but he never cared about house or clothing or vacation or showing off. Essentially, he didn't care. And so his only focus for us was school, education. His money, he wanted his money to only go towards education. So, but his friends, some of his friends would have big houses, nice houses. Some of our friends, because we were going to this nice school, would have big houses, pool, swimming pool, jacuzzi. Us, they would come to visit us. We said, Daddy, can we please move, please? We had one couch, the same couch since, no exaggeration. We've had the same couch from the time I was 5 to the time I was 15. We had the same couch. How do I know? Because in every single family picture, that couch is there. Me, I'm growing. The couch is still there. The type of couch that makes you question your sanity because you start to feel things moving. Is it me or are other things living in this couch? We said, Daddy, please, can we change this couch? He'd be like, for what? For what? So he was authentic in that he had a vision and he was not trying to impress anyone. We lived a very simple life. His vision was just education, and it paid off. God willing, God has willed it already. It paid off because today I'm a lawyer. My sister is completing her PhD in African studies. My other sister is in accounting. My other sister is in banking. So, looks like you were right, Daddy. Looks like your vision was the right vision. My other favorite thing about Dad is the type of father he is. He's a very fun dad. He's the type of father that gives you strict. He's very strict. At the same time, he's very fun. I can talk to him about being scammed in love, for example, and he would just laugh and be like, my daughter, did you? So he's just very fun. And growing up, he used to, and this, I don't take this for granted because when the genocide ended, he was 35 years old, somewhere there, and he was left with 4 young girls. So to live, he put us above everything. He forgot himself all those years. His only priority was his daughters. And so, and he wouldn't just, do the essentials like pay food, pay school fees. Of course he would do that, but he would also create time for fun. I remember we used to go to Cercle Sportif on the weekends and play basketball with him. He would say, I'll be on one team, recruit any kids you want from the neighborhood, your cousins, recruit anyone you want on the other team. And then and then just come. So we would recruit our cousins, Fred, Clément, hey guys. And they sucked less than us, but they sucked too, because we were all kids. So Dad would always win. But he was a fun dad. And I remember actually every time he traveled, he used to always give us, he used to always bring us Toblerone, the chocolate. And he used to do this interesting thing when he would travel. You know how shoe size varies per country? So to make sure he got us the correct shoe size, he would always draw. He would take a piece of paper and draw our foot to make sure that the shoe size fits perfectly, no matter what country he was going. So I don't take it for granted to have been traumatized and to have been through what you've been through, to having to deal with the loss of your wife, the loss of your father, the loss of your brother, the loss of all those countless victims, and still put your best self. I don't even know how you did it. And this goes for the same as my aunt and every other parent who's came out of the genocide traumatized, essentially. And then lastly, my favorite thing about Dad is his will to succeed. Dad comes from a very poor family. In Nyanza, yes, Turavanye Nyanza. And he wasn't given anything on a silver platter. He worked for everything. And sincerely, I don't think I would have made it out. If I was born in extreme poverty, I would probably still be in extreme poverty. I would have been like, okay, you know what, Jesus, I've tried. The lot you handed me in this life, I've tried. I'll be fine. But he had a will to succeed. And if you know the history of Rwanda, you know that this was a time also that Tutsi kids were being discriminated against in schools. So you could be the smartest and you won't pass. And this happened to my father, it happened to many other people in that time. But he pushed through. He pushed through. Excuse me. And he finished secondary. And at age 18, he built his mother a small home in Nyanza. It's still there today. And he pushed through. And with the help of his friend, he came to America with $200 on his pocket. You know, a very similar story to many immigrant parents. He pushed through, and the rest is history. He came in America. He told me that he used to mop floors and do every possible job available. He left with an MBA, and now he's completed his dream of doctorate. He started, my mother and my father both started a PhD in 1994, but then were interrupted by the genocide. So I'm very proud of you, Daddy, that you're now Dr. Joseph Mugenga. I am incredibly proud of you. I am in awe of you. And this is enjoyment time now, okay? You've done sacrificing yourself. You've done being selfless. No more selfless. This is time for you to be selfish and enjoy yourself. I will make it my life mission that I give you the world, like you have given us the world. Thank you, Daddy. Thank you to all African parents. Thank you to all Rwandan parents. Thank you to all immigrant parents. Thank you to all parents, all single parents, all parents that have made it through even when they were handed the worst of circumstances. Thank you so much, and stay tuned for future videos. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. Bye!